What's up, guys? We're back once again to r/am I the a-hole? I probably am. Anyways, let's get on to the stories. I'll see you in a bit. Am I the a-hole if I don't donate all or even part of my inheritance? About $725,000. My cousin says it's blood money and claims she's donating 100% of her share. Using a throwaway since money's involved here. Lots of background, and doing my best to keep it under 3,000 words. I was born in South Africa, but immigrated when I was just a few months old, so I'm totally American. I come from a family of full-on apartheid supporters, and when it ended, basically everyone bailed for America. My parents and aunts and uncles eventually were educated and came around, but my grandparents, while being very sweet and loving to me, were true believers in what apartheid stood for. They made a small fortune in South Africa by literally investing and owning businesses in the apartheid era. To be totally fair, they also made a ton of money in the US, but still the money because they were white and well connected in South Africa. My grandmother died recently. She lived pretty lavishly up until the day she died, in a very exclusive retirement home in SoCal. So I figured there wouldn't be any money left, and maybe I'd get some family heirlooms. My head about popped off when I saw the number me and my cousin will split. It's about $725,000 each. Money that will literally change my life. My parents' business failed, so I wasn't nearly as well off as my cousin. She's also now married, lives in Rancho Santa Fe, Google it if you aren't familiar, and will be just fine without this money. She claims she's going to donate 100% of it to charities in South Africa. She is seriously chiding me that if I plan on keeping it, then I'm taking advantage of blood money built on racism. I have student loans I could pay off. I could actually have a down payment on a house. I could invest. I mean, I know where this money came from, but it could literally mean my life would be better. I understand where it came from, but I also can't possibly imagine giving it away. I have no idea what charities are like in South Africa, and family friends we have that still live there say that corruption has taken over everything from government to charities, and I'm better off just keeping it. I understand my cousin's point, but man is it hard to say goodbye to that much money that will change my life. You're really not the a-hole here. You can use your money however you want, and if she wants to donate all hers, more power to her. And if it really bugs you that much, use that money to invest in your own life, get yourself to a point where you're financially comfortable, and then maybe you can go turn around and help some people as well. Am I the a-hole for sitting on a guy, his bag, and a full train? I totally do not think I'm the asshole here, but he called me an asshole, and so did a random woman sitting close by. So maybe I'm wrong. Here goes. It's a full train during rush hour. I enter the train and see one empty seat. I quickly move myself to the seat, and the guy sitting next to the empty seat says, "You can't sit here. It's reserved for my friend." I told him that it's rush hour, so he cannot do that. He refuses again. He is coming soon, he says. I say again, "No, you can't do that." So I proceed to sit down, but stop at the last second to not crush his bag with my buttocks. I ask him to move it. He says no. So I sit down, and he calls me rude and an asshole. A woman sitting on the other side does the same. I start reading my book. So, am I the a-hole? Yeah, you're the a-hole here. I mean, obviously he called dibs, and you tried to shotgun on that, and there's no takesy-backsies, and what the hell kind of childhood world does this guy think we're living in? Of course you're not the a-hole. This guy thinks he's 5 years old on a childhood playground. Am I the a-hole for threatening to kick my little sister out of my apartment if she doesn't get an abortion or put her baby up for adoption? Oh god, we're treading into dangerous waters. My friend introduced me to Reddit, and I need an outside perspective on this. First post ever, so please be gentle. I'm 26 and my sister is 15. Our parents died in a car crash 4 years ago, and since then, I have been her legal guardian. It's been tough. I went from a single man, freshly graduated, great job for a single person's income, and complete freedom, to having to take care of a grieving child while I was grieving myself. I make enough for us to get by, but not much more. My sister came crying to me today. She admitted that she's pregnant. She said they didn't use birth control, but he pulled out. Apparently some kid in her class, I'm guessing. I confronted her, told her it was going to be okay, and that we'd get through this. Then she dropped a bomb on me. She wants to keep it. She wants to raise and nurture it and give them the childhood she never had. I told her she can't be serious. She's way too young to care for a child. Hell, she's too young to get a job in most places. That if she keeps the child, I'm the one who will be bearing that responsibility. Sure, she can make minimum wage, but at least where we live, it's simply not enough to get by. And I'm simply not in the place in my life where I can afford to take care of another child. She told me that she doesn't expect me to be the parent, and I told her it doesn't matter what she expected. The bottom line is that as her legal guardian, I'm the one who will be responsible for the child by law until she turns 18. That I'm the one who'd be awakened to a 3-month-old throwing a tantrum at 3 a.m. regardless of what she expects. That I'm the one who's going to have to babysit when she works/goes to school, because there'd be absolutely no way she can afford an external babysitter. She then got angry and said, "Well, I'm keeping it, whether you like it or not." I told her she very well can make this choice, but then I'd have to make my own choice, and that I will no longer be her guardian. I'd give her up to our grandparents. They're very strict Christian and would have no problem forcing her to give her kid up for adoption, then making her life a living hell for premarital sex. It's the reason she begged to live with me over them. They're not great people. She's been distraught, telling me I'm a horrible person and that she hates me for trying to force her to give away the one thing she loves the most. I've tried comforting her. I know she's going through a crap ton, but I just can't raise another child. My life was already put on halt when my parents died, and another halt when I had to take care of my sister. I just can't afford financially or emotionally to take care of another kid I didn't ask for. I just can't. And I don't want to either. Am I being unreasonable to want her to not keep the baby and sending her off to my grandparents if she chooses to? No, you're not the a-hole here. If she wants the choice to be able to keep the child or not, obviously you have the choice as well as to whether or not you want to essentially raise this child until she's at least 18. And although it's not possible, even if somehow she managed to do all the work on her own raising this child, you would still have the responsibility of housing a child and keeping it within your home, which is still a whole heck of a lot of a responsibility on you. Am I the a-hole for the real reason I want to have another baby? First and foremost, my son doesn't like me. Not in a bratty, "I hate you, you didn't let me go to McDonald's" way, but a more subtle way. It's been like this since the beginning. His first word was, "Mommy," and it took him another year to say daddy. When mom comes home from work, it's always, "I missed you so much, how was your day? I saved you some crackers." But when I come home from work, my son doesn't bother even coming down from his room to greet me. If I want to know anything about my son's life outside of home, I have to learn it through my wife. I've tried everything to get him to like me. I took time off work to spend more time with him, buy him gifts, etc. But he acts like I'm a stepfather trying to force my way into his life. My wife knows how I feel, but always tells me that I'm reading too much into it, and that he's just a mommy's boy. I've had to deal with this for 9 years, and it's starting to get to me. It just makes me feel sad that my own son doesn't love me as much as his mom. I can count on 2 hands the number of times he's hugged or kissed me, which should say a lot. 2 weeks ago, I told my wife I wanted to have another child. She agreed immediately and actually seemed really excited about it, until I said I wanted a child that actually loved me. She did this whole shtick of, "Oh, that's not true, he's just a mommy's boy," and laughed it off. I laughed with her too, but the next day she seemed really distant. She seemed uncomfortable around me and spent the day avoiding me. I think she might be reconsidering having another kid. I don't resent my wife or son at all. I just want to have a kid that actually shows affection and love towards me. Not one that gives me the cold shoulder and silent treatment for absolutely no reason. Am I the a-hole for this reason? For wanting to have another child? Yes, I do feel like you're the a-hole in this situation. If you do have another kid and he's more affectionate to you, I feel like you're gonna start alienating this other kid because, oh, this one actually loves me and this one doesn't, which is just going to push a wedge even further in your relationship. I feel like you should work on the relationship you have now with your son, and once you get to the point where you get the love that you feel you want, then maybe revisit the thought of another kid. Alright guys, that's gonna wrap it up for the stories. You know the drill. If you liked it, head on down to the description, click on these guys' posts and give them an upvote. Anyways, on to the bonus with today's r/gatekeeping. Gay screaming. My pride nails are perfection. Joke, heteros. Yes, we all get your perverted little joke. But all I want to know is why you have weapons on all other fingernails. Are you like a hand-shaking assassin in your spare time or something? If you're over 55 and your dog breed isn't on this list, get rid of them. What a horrible birthday present that must be. Alright, Scooter. You know what has to be done. Are you white? I guess so. But you ate at a Chinese restaurant. You realize Chinese restaurants are often used as local gathering spots for actual Chinese people, right? What makes you think you have the right to barge in there and take up space in a place that should be a safe space for— oh, safe space, god damn it. Let me fix that real quick. All right, a safe space for people of Chinese heritage. They have good noodles? That doesn't answer the question. Do you know what cultural appropriation is? We live in a society that is mostly dominated by white people who can use their power to oppress minorities. I don't think you understand. They have really good noodles though. I like this guy. Hey, Sparkle Dust. Friendly reminder that using Chinese characters in your signature is bigoted and cultural inappropriation? Huh, okay. I suggest you stop being ignorant because it's really offensive to Chinese people. Oh, we found her, boys. I love how cis whites are always trying to fetishize Asian cultures. It's pretty much harassment. Oh, woo! Thanks, and have a good day. I'm Chinese, return Sparkle. Lum is my last name. Go outside. I mean, no amount of sparkle dust to the eye is gonna block the fact that we clearly see what a condescending piece of crap you are. Non-black people should do an inventory of how many times they post images of black people reaction GIFs and memes. Because digital blackface is a thing. You know, periods and commas are also a thing, but no, whatever. Also, obviously that's not true, so I just gotta ask. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you did, consider subscribing, ring the bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.